Wait a minute. What do you use this for?
Get away from the door!
Come find me when you wake up.
Today's movie is Collateral, directed by Michael Mann. It is an action thriller that got 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. If you haven't seen it, it is about Max, an LA taxi driver who is about to knock off after a long day when sharp-suited Vincent offers him $600 to make 5 stops. Sounds good until Vincent turns out to be a merciless hitman, and each one of those stops involves a hit. As the night goes on, Max starts to wonder if he'll live to see the sunrise, as the pair are hunted by the police and the FBI.
We're going to cover many subjects: the plot, the characters, the pacing, the music, the ending, the action, and whether it was worth it.
Welcome. We just watched Collateral this morning. What were your first thoughts?
Alrighty, so my first thoughts, it's about a taxi driver. And taxi drivers, they're, really good at customer service. And I thought that Max, our main character, was a very charismatic guy.
Oh.
What were your thoughts on his character, Max?
Yeah, just a driven guy.
Yeah.
This taxi job's a side hustle. He works part-time
Yeah.
while trying to fill out his limo business.
Side hustle for 12 years. He's lying to himself, saying that it's temporary.
But as long as he's working on something else, it's still a side hustle, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that, you have to be doing something for it to be on the side. You can't be your main thing and you say it's a side hustle.
Yeah.
You gotta be doing two things. We don't really hear about, stuff he's actually doing for his limo business, right?
That's true.
We don't hear, if he's, I don't know, putting money aside or actually, learning things about it. He talks about the stuff he knows, but other than that, that's all he knows.
And it sounds like the assassin in the back seat is telling him, "Oh, it's just a dead end job. This is all just dead end."
The taxi or the limo?
I guess both. He's just saying you got to go and live your life more because you haven't done anything in 12 years.
Vincent, the hitman, he's very, compulsive, very, in the moment.
I mean, I think if he wasn't an assassin, he'd be a very successful man. His mindset was perfect, in my opinion.
You think so?
Super goal-oriented, yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's very in the moment. He's
efficient.
He's very live life to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of weird to see that in a hitman character. We really got character building in Vincent's character, played by Tom Cruise, which was interesting to see him as the villain.
It was shocking at first. This doesn't fit. But he played the role well.
He is the villain, but he's not portrayed as the villain until the end of the movie. Right?
Well, the first stop we see him kill someone,
But you don't hate him for it. I didn't.
I don't think we ever hate him. Even at the end when he's hunting our boy.
I didn't like him at that point. It was up until then, he seemed like just a fun guy.
I was like, damn, this guy's still just doing his job.
Yeah, he's a hitman. And, but, they really showed some, aggressive shots, up top in the lighting, just from the bottom makes him seem, evil.
Yeah.
Right. That's when I started to consider him a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, it was, kind of...
just a passenger.
Yeah, he's just there. He's just a character in the movie, a fun character. He's not a bad guy, he's a bad guy, but he's not the bad guy, right?
Yeah. No, Vincent, second half of the movie was much scarier.
Yeah, for sure.
He's definitely an assassin. He
was so charismatic at the start. That's where Max and Vincent are the same. They were both charismatic, and they were both, well, I guess that was really it. They were both charismatic.
Yeah.
And then past that, they were very opposite of each other. He was very secretive. Max was an open book, telling people about his limousine stuff, just really ready to tell people.
Although I think what Vincent had said to Max was the reason why Max decided to go help the woman and actually act on what he was feeling.
So he was a detriment to himself.
Exactly. He encouraged his cab driver to take action on himself.
And I think, sitting down at the end there, that's what he realized.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, wow, what did I do? He's just sitting there, going to be bleeding out, accepting his death, because, it's ambiguous whether he dies, but
he probably dies.
He dies,
But you're right, it does show him thinking about what he's done.
He's
probably
just pondering. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He's just thinking there, and that's really it. He's thinking, and it's the end. He dies.
Something just occurred to me. In the cab, Vincent tells Max to call that woman. Do you think it's because Vincent knows that's on the hit list?
Yes. We saw him check earlier on,
really?
and see, her name.
Yeah, that just occurred to me. I was like, oh, he's just encouraging him to live his life a bit more. Call the woman he likes or something.
Yeah, because he knows that she's going to be dead by the end of the day, where he thinks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why he's encouraging that. And you know what? That also, the ending scene, do you remember in the cab when he's first there, and they're talking about the city of LA, and Vincent says he doesn't like it because somebody was dead for 6 hours riding around in a train.
He said that?
Yeah, and nobody noticed. People sitting next to him. And that is exactly what happened to him.
100%, yeah.
That is crazy.
I missed that part. Dang it.
I just realized that right now.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It
That's
just
awesome.
it comes full circle, really.
Yeah.
That's a great connecting point. I think that just made the movie a little bit better right there.
Oh, for sure.
I think that really increased it.
Yeah.
That's a fun moment once you realize that. So let's talk a bit more about Vincent's character, because he's really interesting.
Yeah.
He was thinking of these people, to justify in his mind, for his psyche, that everyone was just a speck. 6 billion people at the time, right? He's saying there's 6 billion people in the world, so why does it matter if he kills one person? Mm-hmm. And that was his reasoning, and that's kind of what humanized him and made him seem less evil for me at the start.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a quote by Joe Pera, and so I looked it up here. Mm-hmm. So Joe Pera, he says, "When Stephen Hawking cheated on his wife, she must have felt pretty sad. It was a terrible thing to do, and I don't want to defend him, but try thinking about it from his perspective for the moment. He spends all day thinking about the universe and how big it is, how our stars, the sun, is just one of dozen stars in the galaxy, which is just one of dozens of galaxies in the known universe, all set against handfuls and handsfuls of time. If one guy cheats on his wife, what's the big deal?"
Yeah.
Thinking further down the same line of thought, however, if we're so tiny and insignificant, if you're able to find one person in the entire universe who cares about you, why would you want to disappoint them? Mm-hmm. That's a good quote from Perry, touching on the subject.
Yeah.
Really, and of his mentality of, killing people because they're insignificant. Mm-hmm. But, people are significant to one another. As the quote says, if you can find somebody, that's great. And I really like that quote.
I do too. It's a good quote. So, did you notice that Max was a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning in the taxi?
Yeah, I thought that was because, after picking up Vincent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I felt he was uncomfortable because he couldn't tell what he did. Whereas with the lawyer lady who got in the car, he could just tell, how much she was dressed, mm-hmm. and, what kind of briefcase she had. He could tell what she does, and it just gave him a sense of comfort, He could probably tell what everyone does that gets in his car. But this hitman guy, he's dressed in gray, and he has...
It is weird. A weird briefcase.
Yeah, the weird briefcase, and he's got the gray hair,
mm-hmm.
and he's just a weird character, and I felt that's what made him uncomfortable.
For sure.
Yeah,
it showed how good he was at reading people when he guessed.
Yeah.
A lawyer. She's like, wow, are you psychic or something? Yeah.
He's no psychic. He's a taxi driver.
Yeah.
12 years, so you meet a lot of people.
For sure. But yeah, that definitely put him off. Maybe the first ever hitman in the back of his cab. Probably.
Probably.
Yeah. I thought the music added to this movie. What did you think of the classical and then the jazz?
I really like jazz. It was really relaxing. Jazz is so relaxing to me. Mm-hmm. When Max is playing it in his car for Annie, and they're just driving to...
Yeah.
And just listening to the jazz. I looked up what song that is called. It's Hands of Armada. It was a good song. It's nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
and drops him off, and then things get a little bit more intense.
Yeah,
Maybe with the classical music coming in there.
It's like the polar opposites, the super chill, and then it's not chill whatsoever.
Well, yeah, because jazz is so, and they say this in the movie, it's so improvisational, they just improvise what they're doing, sometimes it's different, every night it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas classical, it is, every note is the way it is, and it's on the dot, it's so precise.
Exactly.
Maybe that just shows, the characters of Vincent and Max. Vincent improvising things, and Max being more, straightforward.
Although Max definitely does improvise at the end.
Oh, he does, and that's just learning from the jazz.
Mm-hmm. I like it. The influence.
Yeah,
That's cool.
they definitely influenced each other.
More so Vincent influencing
Vincent,
Max, but yes.
Max, influencing Vincent just a little bit, to see humanity in people.
Yeah, I mean Vincent saved his life there. He didn't have to. In the club.
Yeah, he did. I felt like he wanted him alive still for something. It was a personal.
There really is no reason. There's one stop left. He's got a cab waiting outside for him.
That's fair. Well, maybe he wanted to just kill him somewhere else. Yeah,
After killing 20 people, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
But you could be right.
About the club, you would not want to be in there at that time. That would be awful.
Just play dead. Lie on the ground somewhere. Hope for the best.
Yeah, run if you can. But oh man, there's so many people, and that would be just the worst.
And there's some sort of confusion where the cops were killing the security guards. And there's like a war there, and then the assassin was popping them all.
It was a 4 or 5 way fight.
Yeah.
Right, and just
crazy.
Nobody knows what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think, oh, Mark Ruffalo's here. He's got him. He's telling him we're all good.
Yeah.
And he gets shot coming down the stairs.
I was not expecting that at all.
Oh, so surprised.
Yeah.
I thought, that was the turning point right there. Mark Ruffalo
I thought Vincent was still in the club, actually.
Yeah, me too. But he's fast. He's an assassin. He moves unexpectedly. That's why they didn't show him moving, right?
Yeah.
To show how surprised, Max would have been. Surprised us.
No, that was sad, because they finally connected the dots.
Yeah,
he figured things out, and pop.
Yeah, he said he trusted him, that he didn't want to kill him, and yeah, it was not good. He died.
Poor guy. He died going under the FBI and doing the right thing.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo being a name in acting, just surprised to see him die.
For sure. Where did the bullet hit Vincent when he shot him?
Right here.
Did it?
Yeah, so it was under his coat, but there was a bunch of blood there. They don't really show the bullet hole
like
that closely.
in the building, the office building.
Oh, in the office building.
Yeah.
Oh, that
was it like his ear or something?
Yeah, I thought it went through the bullet looked like it went through both cheeks, but there was no blood on this side. So I thought it
just killed him.
I thought it went in his mouth and through his cheek is what I thought.
Oh, really?
But there was no hole in his cheek. We would have seen that. So maybe it just grazed his head over here. But
yeah.
It was really unknown. Like I said, I thought it was going through his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But it then only grazed the side of his head. So
I liked that Max knew what he had to do, because Vincent was standing. He's like, Max, what are you gonna do?
And then boom.
And boom, he knew what he was doing.
He just no hesitation, just shot.
Well, he had to. He knows how fast Vincent is.
Oh yeah. If Vincent wanted, he could have turned and shot him.
Mm-hmm.
But like he said, maybe he spared him because he liked the guy.
Maybe he's planning on letting him go. But
we're the dream team, as he said earlier. We're the dream team.
No, do you think after the whole night was done successfully, he would have let Max go?
He can't.
Popped him.
Yeah, he would have to kill him. He's going to the police.
But then, that's my point. What is the point of keeping him around?
To drive him around, so he can focus on things while he's getting driven.
I guess so.
Some people want to get driven around while they're murdering people.
Yeah, I can relate.
Of course. That just seems to be Vincent's character,
Yep.
So the cab ride, the first one that Max gives to Annie, the start of the movie. That seemed really long to me.
The drive itself. Yeah. Interesting. And I think that the sort of ending of that cab ride with Annie showed how sort of hesitant and how little he was actually living his life. When he was just hoping she would volunteer her number instead of asking, and then almost not getting the number, but she came back to the cab.
Right.
That showed, like, later on how much he'd improved in that aspect of his life to take action on stuff.
You know, I thought he didn't get the number because he thought it was weird because she was his customer, you know? So I have a little theory here
Go ahead.
that this Max is the same Max from Spider-Man 2. Both played by Jamie Foxx, but they're just in different universes, different lives. You know, they both wear glasses, you know.
Okay.
They're both Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
And just they're similar characters, you know, a bit nervous, you know, stuff like that. And so that's my theory. They're similar.
So is your theory calling it a coincidence, or is your theory actually saying there's some planning behind this?
No, there's no planning behind it.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of theories are just coincidences. So
I guess so.
I'm gonna say mine's a theory also.
No, it's a good theory.
But yeah,
It is kind of funny that it worked out that way.
Yeah, they're very similar, but one of them has more hair.
I guess so.
Mainly because Spider-Man came after
Mm-hmm.
a while. You know, this movie coming out in
2004. Yeah.
being pretty old.
Very old.
You know, it doesn't look that old with the the filming style.
Yeah, I was impressed. No, but yeah, it is an old movie. I thought it was good for being so old.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Rotten Tomatoes 86% rating?
86%. You know, after we discovered the part how he talked about the guy going around in the train.
Yeah.
And Vincent connecting to that. You know, that added like a good amount, but I don't really think it was up there.
Not quite 80%. 86%.
Not quite 86%. I have to put it a bit lower at, maybe 70, 75. Let's say 72 in between those, right? Just a bit lower. The action scenes, they weren't that exciting, especially the last one when they're just running away. I thought that one was a little cheesy.
Yeah. Through the garage and stuff. Yeah. No, I felt that too. I mean, I don't want to make it being an old movie an excuse, but for an old movie, I think 86% is perfect.
Right.
An A. Just an A.
Just an A.
Yeah. No, I like the rating for sure.
Right. So, yeah. I think a little worse than you, but
Yeah.
it's okay. And so was it worth your time to watch this movie?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah?
It's a good movie.
It was worth it for you?
Yeah.
I'll also say, despite, giving it a 72% out of Rotten Tomatoes,
Mhm.
I think that it was still worth it. It's above 50%. I feel like something below 60 maybe not be worth it, something around there where it's like you kind of want to check your phone or something while watching the movie. But this one, I was engaged. The action scenes were fun, and the pacing was really good. I really liked it. It was fast paced. Kept you wanting more.
100%. From hit to hit. Yeah, I liked it. No, it was a good movie.
The plan of the movie was laid out from the start. He's gonna try and kill 5 people.
Yeah.
And you're expecting that. So it's quite the intro, right?
Yeah, you know everything, and yet it's still interesting the whole way through.
And it's still surprising. So,
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's going to do it. I think we covered it all. Consider leaving a like, subscribing, leave a comment of your favorite song, or your favorite scene, or your favorite character.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, go check out our channel.